Here's what the e-bike you ride says about you, part 2. Starting off with number 1, we have a modded Razor. If you ride a modded out Razor MX650/550, you're pretty much the Honda Civic of e-bikes. Because all you're really trying to do is just turn a piece of crap e-bike into something nice. And most of the time, they straight up just look clapped because you're adding a whole bunch of upgrades that don't even belong on that bike in the first place. Alright, for number 2, we have the Yozma IN10. If you ride a Yozma IN10, I'd say you're pretty valid because those bikes are very nice and they have a lot of potential looks-wise. The Tudio is very similar to the Yozma because I've actually owned the two. And what I can tell you from both, there's definitely a lot more upgrades for the Tudio than there is the Yozma. But you're still pretty valid. And for number 3, we have the Frigo X2 Pro. If you ride a Frigo X2 Pro, you most likely think you're sneaky since you have pedals. In my opinion, I believe those bikes are very clean, but most people don't because they just don't like the way the frame looks. I mean, all you really have to do is just get new bars, a Baja light, a seat cover, just normal stuff like that, and you can make that bike so clean. You have a good top speed, and most importantly, you have great range. So I'd say you're pretty valid. And for number 4, we have the eBox 2.0. If you own this bike, I'm assuming you're a smaller rider or it's just your first bike. You have absolute terrible range and your chain's probably snapping on you like 24/7. I've owned an eBox 2.0 and it was probably one of the worst e-bikes I've ever owned because like I said, the chain snaps on you all the time and the range is terrible. That was my experience for my eBox 2.0. The only perk that bike really had was that the frame was like indestructible. Dude, I remember being able to jump my eBox 2.0 to flat without the frame snapping. But again, if it's your first bike, it's pretty decent. All right, for number 5, we have a 79 Falcon Light. If you have this bike, you probably just got off a Tudio and you could finally afford a bike that looks like a Sur-Ron. Because the $2,500 price tag on that Falcon Light's actually ridiculous. And I truly believe that's going to be the new Tudio. But all I gotta say is those bikes are pretty insane for $2,500. I might actually get one myself just to see how it is.